ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, all two of you, maybe. I am kcStranger. This is the Crystal Tomb. You may not have noticed we were gone, but we are now back. Our Twitch channel says that we're streaming golf with friends. I tried to change it. It didn't take. We're just gonna roll with it. So yeah, it's been a few months. I forgot to mention, the Crystal Tomb remains brought to you by XSplit Broadcaster and by Tractor Blend, who one day I will collect a whole bunch of quarters from. So thank you, Tractor Blend. Alright, so yeah, it's been a few months, so I believe a high-level recap of events is in order. So buckle in, and if you're that one person in some parallel dimension who's watched every single video and remembers everything up to this point, you can just skip a couple minutes, because this is going to be a little long. So, perhaps 3 months of in-game time ago, and actually let me switch to my world map at this point, this will be helpful. Perhaps 3 months of in-game time ago, a party left from Rampart in the human territory to explore a newly discovered cavern under Einongrun. That party was Colleen Larea, Kane Fish Farmer, whose name we learned about a year in, Fallon Fenris, Alistair Redthorn, Halael Sarandon, and Johan Redmountain. A separate group, including Tyria Kayadel and her wolf companion Thorn, Anya Hajnal Circulet, Hanul Maliradel, and Corin Melnor, names kids, left at the same time exploring a different entrance. Their aim was to rescue a group of elves, which included Lyriana Ferundin, who was a friend of Halael's. The group discovered that the caverns were fairly extensive. There they faced the aboleth known as Blindploop, from whom they received mysterious powers. They encountered Quaggoths in the ruined city of Undrosk, where they learned Lyriana harbored the spirit of an ancient green dragon, and ultimately left the city with her. They recovered a rather ill-fated ruby, and at last they left the city with the elven party in tow. Upon leaving the Underdark, the group was brought to the ruling council of Einongrun in Siren, who set them on a task to investigate other caverns near Jourdain. There, they discovered a demon army preparing to invade the city from underneath and warn the dwarves there. That city was later overrun, but the dwarves had some time to organize a resistance and evacuation. Around the same time, Kane and Fallon learned that Tirsa Shadowvale, a brothel owner who had treated Fallon kindly in the past, was actually a leader of Kane's Thieves Guild. She set them on an errand to Tindas, which is where they recovered the first of the vestiges of Alkadir, the Scepter of Command. Or so they thought, until they realized that the scepter was a fake, and heard the story of a half-elven street girl, whom they had found in critical condition. And she told of 2 men, a human and a dragonborn, who'd apparently beaten them to the punch. With a little bit of research, they surmised that this was a group known as the Ashal from the outside world, although they didn't know a whole lot about them. The human apparently left the girl alive, but maimed, despite being instructed to kill the girl. The party also briefly met with Colleen's family, and from Colleen's mother learned the power of the Creation Stones, one of which Colleen held. The party trailed the 2 men to Dale's Harbor, which is down here, and on the way felt the first of a series of lurching sensations, which they later learned to represent movement between different timelines or alternate realities. In Dale's Harbor, they met Alistair's father and older sister Lana, and fought against an onslaught of undead, losing Johan from their party around that time. In the end, however, they succeeded in capturing the human Darian Lockwall and the dragonborn Ertazun Selexiodon, whom they learned to be members of the Ashal, outsiders who sought the vestiges of Alkadir. They also recovered the True Scepter. In Tindas now, so this is a little bit before this, Fallon had heard of the appearance of Crow, an Orog who... Oh, and by the way, Fallon, I think your mic's picking up on your breathing a little bit. Alright, so where was I? Okay, so Fallon learned of the appearance of Crow, an Orog who'd raised him at the Tower of Innis in the far south of Anandgrun. So the party traveled there next. They didn't find Crow, actually, but did speak with the High Priestess Nistia Cantaniel and learned that she had tracked a changing of timelines prior to the one the party just experienced, after wishing to a mysterious entity that her family would not be killed. No worries, Fallon, LOL. So Nistia also informed them that an army of demons had overrun the capital, Siren, where Cain may or may not have deposited the ruby. So the party realized this was due to the ruby. Nistia set the party on a journey towards Tavrith's Peak, towards the center of Script Forest, to recover Saphira, the Looking Glass, in which was bound up the magic which isolated Anandgrun from the larger world. Along the way, the party experienced another shift of timelines, which for a while actually introduced Crow to their party, the Orog. Ultimately, they found their way to Tavrith's Peak, where they met not only with the ancient gold dragon Tavrith, but also with the avatar of Innis, goddess of knowledge herself. Innis told the party that she had forgotten something very important, and spoke with them, trying to figure out what it might be. Things went awry, however, when Tavrith sought to remove from the party's minds the touch of the aboleth. Although that did succeed, there appeared a massive hooded and tentacled creature who nearly killed Innis's avatar, before Fallon revived her using a Ring of Wishes, and she banished the creature. Afterwards, Innis, greatly weakened, conveyed to the party that she knew of the creature as one of the Sons of Kowal, and set the party on a quest to recover the 3 creation stones, the 5 dragon spirits, and the 7 vestiges of Valkadir before returning to Tavrith's Peak. The party first traveled to the Yuan-Ti city of Vixeth, where they were captured before being freed by a mysterious Yuan-Ti whose identity they never actually learned. Finally, they did overcome the designs of a Yuan-Ti abomination known as Lady Visaya, who it turned out was Fallon's mom, and recovered the Crown of Allure. As they returned to the Tower of Innis, however, they became ensnared in the alternate reality of yet another of the Sons of Kowal. When they defeated it, Alistair accepted a contract as a Knight of the Winter Queen, Haleo emerged as the host of the Red Dragon Spirit, and both ultimately left with the Winter Queen for the Feywild. Returning to the tower, the party learned that the clerics and paladins of Innis had lost their power. And that was where Maxis, and Ernan Redgrave joined the party. You know what? I've said everybody else's last name. Maxis Estwil Anandathai. The group discovered the journal of General Kasiru Cliffbreaker, Vuln Kalmathani, one of the founding leaders of the settlement in Anandgrun. Aided by a wizard in the employ of Tirsa Shadowvale, they teleported north to Erju Glacier. So up here, where they discovered an ice palace erected by the Cliffbreaker to protect 2 artifacts, the Amulet of Foresight and the Creation Stone Kiril, both of which they recovered. Yeah, Goliaths have really long last names. So there, Colleen also made a new companion, the Quaddle Fabrizio. From the Ice Palace, the party returned to a complex controlled by Tirsa's guild, the Adder's Fang, and also recovered the Cape of Delusion. They met Tirsa there and learned that the clerics of Innis still lacked power, so they decided to return to Tavrith's Peak to investigate. Returning to Tavrith's Peak, the party found Tavrith on death's door, Anya shot through the head with an arrow and barely able to speak, and Innis's weakened avatar captured by the agents of the Ashal. Fallon did restore Anya using his Ring of Wishes, and the party agreed to seek to free Innis. They then left for Citadel, as Tirsa indicated they could be of use in beating back the demon army. There were a number of events in Citadel, including Fallon reuniting with his family, Colleen reuniting with a childhood friend, Ernan meeting with Moya Steeltree, who turned out to harbor the Black Dragon Spirit, and the defeat of some cultists of Sheena, goddess of destruction. After that, the party left for Westeros with orders to kill Rieta Umvaldir, commander of the demon army, and to recover the magic ruby she held, which was a partner to the one the party had unwittingly brought to Siren, which had caused the invasion there. The party was accompanied by Corin Melnor, with whom they had traveled previously. In the battles there, Corin died, and when Colleen attempted to turn him into a zombie, his spirit departed in a rather peculiar manner. The party did ultimately succeed in destroying the demons infesting Westeros, but when they accepted Corin's help in killing Rieta, Corin's spirit showed up. It was weird. There was a bright light, and it emerged later, yet another timeline shift. Meanwhile, Cain had, through magical trickery, stayed behind in Citadel, being tasked by a group of Drow elves to kill Gunnar Moonpetal, a person of some importance in the Adder's Fang. After confirming with Tirsa that he should do this, he did succeed in the errand. And at this time, he asked his contact, a lieutenant in the Drow group, to meet, quote, the boss. The party returned to Citadel to collect their reward, and there met with Stoneweaver Crook, who almost made the party murder hobos. We will treasure you always in our hearts, Stoneweaver Crook. Unfortunately, he will be leaving the campaign. That being said, Eranin left the party, passing to Crook the Looking Glass Saphira, and to Maxis his ring, in which lived Kalea, a spirit with power to contain the dragon spirits. Subsequently, Maxis enacted a ritual to extract the black dragon spirit from Moira Steeltree. Thereafter, the party decided to travel north to Lake Soon, based on a lead in the Cliffbreakers journal, and there they discovered the third creation stone, Cenarion. From Cenarion, they learned that the awakening of the three creation stones heralded an event known as the Renewal, though the meaning of this was perhaps a little unclear. Nevertheless, the party had now recovered all three creation stones, but there still remained 4 dragon spirits and 3 vestiges of Alkadir. They had other errands as well. Innis was still captured. Fallon had made a bargain with a pit fiend that required him to travel outside Einon Grun to the city of Tellius Car, although you do know where the other vestiges are as a result of that, I will say. To break the seals on some door, nothing could go wrong. There was still the mystery of Saphira, which revealed a cord of red crystal leading somewhere. They didn't know where. Should the party even follow this? Last time, the party returned to the newly liberated Siren, where they were ambushed by a group of the Ashal, a fighter, a cleric, a wizard, a ranger, and the rogue Gyrian Lockwald. After a mighty struggle, they wound up killing all of them except for Gyrian and the cleric. As the struggle ended, however, they were suddenly shrouded in magical darkness. A drow spoke into the darkness, telling them that he was the boss Cain had asked to meet, and asking them to follow him into a complex hidden beneath the city. After receiving assurances that they would be allowed to loot the Ashal they had just felled, the party did follow him beneath, and that is where we are going to pick up. Cain, one thing before we do. As you're heading down, you're sort of away from the rest of the group, you hear Crook sort of hurrying up behind you to catch up. And as he's drawing close... Huh? Oh, sorry, I thought somebody said something. And as he's starting to get close to you, he stops, and... I'm getting a bit of an echo from somebody. I can probably deal with it, though. He stops and he sort of pauses, like, hey, Crook, what's up? And as you turn around, you sense another presence near you. It's a small creature, maybe a gnome or a halfling, but in the darkness, it's hard to tell quite for sure. And I'm trying to remember the name of Kruk's group. Did he write it on his? I had this just a moment ago, and I'm forgetting the name of the group. Okay. Sorry. Allow me to look something up ever so quickly. Right. You hear the creature behind you. It says, Kruk, I've stopped things for a moment. I need you to come back with me. The Eternal Guard needs you. Kruk sort of blusters for a bit, says makes a few indecipherable sounds, and then the voice says again, I know this is sudden, but just follow me and the drow will not be able to harm you. Kruk says, oh, okay then. Thinks for a moment. And then he says, Kane, here, I think you need this more than I do. Kane, he hands you the looking glass. I'd like you to add Cyphera the looking glass to your inventory.
So,
what?
How do I spell Cyphera?
Like this. And if you'll remember, it does have 3 gems on it. They're blue. 2 of them glow faintly with an inner light. 1 of them is out. So it has 2 charges left. You can ask it any question concerning the future. And receive an answer.
Does that refresh?
Not as far as you know.
Okay, so not something I should blow right now.
You might want to be judicious about it based on the little bit that you know. All right. So somehow Kruk and this small creature, based on the voice, you think it's a gnome, slip away. The rest of you, or actually all of you, you make it underground into the tunnel. There's an exchange, and finally Fallon takes off the crown of lure that he'd had on. This did happen last time. And you're beckoned into a stone room at the end of a short tunnel. You just hear a voice that comes out and says, if you would, come on in. We'd like to have a word with you.
Do I reckon?
Kane, this is Varys. We spoke earlier.
Oh. That was...
Anyone averse to going into the room?
I'm down.
Right.
Kane's first. Oh.
You're coming in a bit choppy. What'd you say?
I said Kane's frustrated.
You might need to like lower your sensitivity settings or something. I don't know what's going on, but you're super choppy.
Type it in the chat.
How is that?
That's better. At least so far.
I turned it up because I think I was the echo earlier. So I turned up...
Okay.
Or I guess I turned down the sensitivity?
Yeah, and actually the echo probably was you. But
I just turned it... I took it off of push to talk when I finished the wing.
Fair enough. Yeah, just do what you need to do. It's okay. So what'd you say?
Kane is very trusting. Cough.
Brilliant. Okay, so you enter a stone room of perhaps 30 feet on a side. This picture isn't accurate, but I found it quickly before the session just for a little bit of atmosphere. The atmosphere is at least roughly correct. So you enter this small stone room, one of 4 at the end of the hallway. There are a group of about 10 drow at the front of the room. One sits behind a desk, his posture utterly relaxed. Another stands at his side, and Kane, you recognize this one as Varys. And the others line up on either end of the room, or they're standing lined up there. Before anyone has time to speak, a few more drow come out of one of the other rooms behind you and lay packs on the floor in front of you, along with a few pieces of armor. Then they file out the door behind you, closing it as they go. The drow sitting behind the desk smiles as his lieutenant speaks, his face businesslike, but his voice silky smooth. Your prisoners and your corpses have been secured. As promised, here are their possessions. Would you like a moment to look through them? We can wait to speak until you're prepared.
Yes.
Obviously.
Kane just starts like rummaging through the shit.
Okay, so this is the point in the story where I gave you guys a big list of stuff. I will pull this up so that I can sort of maybe help you keep track of who's taken all the shit. Sort of like check it off for you. But work out amongst yourselves who gets what.
Yeah. So like, okay. So dang it. So Clean already has a cloak of protection.
Is anyone opposed to me taking all the spellcasting components?
I want them.
Absolutely not.
I don't think anyone else needs them.
Yeah, no. Have at it,
Well,
buddy.
just because they have a gold value, and
I'm fine.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty down. I give you all my gold anyway.
oh, you're so good to me.
So yeah, I guess Khalid could use the ring of protection more than me.
Yeah, I think she should take the ring.
Dang
The
it.
only thing is there are limits to how many items you can have attuned at
Yeah.
once, and I think
Oh, is
Clean
Clean at
maybe
the
up to
limit?
3.
I have 4 or 5 attunement items. I'm only using 3 of them at the moment.
I don't.
So
know.
looks like you're full up. So I guess Katie's turn.
I mean, I have died. Fully died.
Yeah, you did. You totally
Stop
did.
walking up to people.
I didn't walk up to
See,
anybody.
what's your weight at in the bag of holding? Oh, wait. Somebody eliminated the weight of the barrel of scotch. That thing weighs a shit ton.
Was it ever
Is
put
all
in?
gone?
Well, I mean, you drank some of it. I went ahead and just called it 120, though. So
What's
that
the max
means
weight for the bag?
200. So you've got a bit under 10 pounds that you can still put in the bag of holding.
Yo, why the fuck do you have a barrel of scotch?
The rest of your group found it at the mayor's house.
Let's sell this
Nexus
shit.
likes to drink.
Well, let's sell some of it.
So,
Reduce this
to these,
fucking
to
weight.
these
Apparently-
drow.
Today is not my internet's day.
The
Wait,
only
so
thing that looked
I would
neat to me in
actually-
the stuff was the ring of warmth.
well, Colleen, like, is there something you'd want to like replace the ring with?
Replace the ring with?
Yeah, because you need to retune for the ring. So like, do you like what you have?
Well, he could take the ring. And
So I've got my...
You have to.
You'd have to replace something though.
Yeah,
Sorry,
I have a cloak of protection. I have my brooch that protects me from force damage, which I never use ever. I have my helmet that gives me advantage on perception checks visually. I've got the wand of advantage, and I've got one other thing, but yeah, those are my attuned things.
Can I get clarification from something from Casey real quick?
Yeah.
Helm of Blindsight.
Yep.
I have an ability that as long as I can see something on all deck saves. Would the Helm of Blindsight just mean that I always get advantage on deck saves unless it's like I get blindsided by a trap or something, I guess? I don't know.
I mean, blind sight will let you effectively see a lot of things that you wouldn't be able to see otherwise.
Okay.
But it's not like omnipotent in that regard.
Right.
This concept is foreign to me. Is this like Daredevil?
Kind of.
What now?
I guess he's like Daredevil with like 60-foot range.
120, I thought.
120-foot range.
Yeah, so blind sight just basically, like, it's kind of like you can just sense things without seeing them.
So could he
Feel
like
it in your bones.
sense like someone casting a deck save spell if they're within 120 feet and get the
I mean, if
Yeah,
it
so
has
like-
semantic components.
So, like, if somebody tries to lightning bolt him, then even if they're doing it from hiding, then
Or invisible.
so long as they weren't, like, completely occluded. Like think of it like echolocation, right?
Okay.
So it's like he has bat sense.
Okay. So yeah, so Brave, so you're gonna replace one of your deck items?
I mean, I could give him my Brooch of Force damage, because I am attuned to that and never use it. But
Well, Casey will find a way now.
I mean, I got hit by a
Guaranteed.
fuck ton of force damage in that last fight.
How many? What's the attunement item limit?
3.
3.
Is it 4? It's 3. Okay. I don't know how many I have, Casey.
I can help you check.
Wait, you don't want the long sword, Fallon?
I mean, I have a great axe. That's what does the sword do?
Oh, fancy.
Longsword is it's in the player's handbook, the base weapon. It's just you can wield it one-handed for a d8 damage and two-handed for d10.
Gotcha.
But no, you're talking about
It's,
the
it's less
Frostburn.
damage than the great axe. It's just not obligatory two hands.
Where did I get this dread helm from? I think that's the only thing that I have.
I would also like the crystal bracelet.
I give it to you as a gift. Fallon, the Frostbrand sword does an extra d6 of cold damage, and you are resistant to fire damage when you have it.
Also, Fallon, unless I missed something,
Yeah.
you have no attunement items at the moment.
I remember having a tune with something or other in the past.
The only thing
That's what the sword does.
I didn't
Fallon?
think this was
I might
attunement,
take
but
this
maybe
sword.
this is it.
I have the Frostbrand in my inventory, but I'm just gonna erase that and put the
Was
helm
it the
instead.
Terror Mace?
Yes, it was.
Yeah, that was it.
Yeah,
I
that
still
was the
got
only
my
thing I
Terror
thought might
Mace.
be. I didn't think it was, but it is.
Okay, well, I mean, I'd take. I wouldn't. I guess I'd take the sword. That'd be different. Change it up.
Plus,
If
you get
no one else has to
resistances,
have it.
and you do an extra d6 of damage. That's really good.
And then, so I'm okay. So can I get the ring and the sword, and I'm done? Or does anybody else want any of that?
I can't
That's
use
fine.
either of those.
Yeah, no, I'm fine.
No one can use the
Fallon
armor,
takes Ring
Of
Of warmth.
ring of warmliness.
I haven't even looked at what it is, but I don't think I need it.
Fallon, one other thing. I don't know if this is of interest to you, but oh wait, I thought there was. Do literally none of them have that? I must. I feel like I must have missed something, but let me check real quick.
How much do this ring and? Well, hold on. I saw the sword. Well, I can look them up. Never mind. You don't have to tell me.
It's in the dock.
Yeah, I know. I look.
Did anybody wear plate armor?
3 pounds.
I mean, technically, yes. I guess.
You don't want to, because barbarian. Did
Barbarian.
Fallon wear plate?
No, I don't.
So Selfa got some money. Cool.
Oh, you know what? I just realized I put it under supplies instead of armor. But Fallon, one other advantage of the longsword is you can use it with a shield if you want. Shield gives you +2 to AC, and there are 2 of them under supplies.
Gotcha. Okay, so I'll take 1 shield and the holy symbol amulet for my amulet collection.
Alright.
Unless someone
Alright.
else really wants
Well, I
those.
want to take the at least the quiver of fire. If Khalid's gonna take the ring of protection, there's nothing else I can use or what.
Okay.
Unless I can wear 2 cloaks. Can I wear 2 cloaks, Casey?
No.
Got one on the front.
Okay. Well, you can wear a cloak, can't you, Mac?
I was gonna take the cape of Matterbank because a big fucking theme of our combat is me never being able to fucking get to anybody.
What does that do?
It
Teleport.
lets you cast Dimension Door once per
Oh,
day.
hell yeah. Wait, I could. Dang it, but I already have my cool cloak. Dang it. I want
Just say,
more cloaks, Casey.
And like I said, it's real nice for me to not have to run all the way across the room sometimes.
You're the fastest person of all of us. Well, yeah, you're the fastest person here.
You can teleport with your ability, your little sword thing.
But I have to, like, hit somebody. I can't just go somewhere. Like, it's part of, like, a hitting thing. So, like,
Yeah.
I'm next to a person.
Whoa, it's fine.
Okay.
God.
Yeah, but, okay, so, Quiver of Fire. That's what I got.
What am I writing down?
Alright,
Which will be my...
if you guys have picked up the stuff that you care most about, I can sort of talk you through the rest of it if you prefer.
Sure.
Okay, so there's a whole bunch of money. How do you want to handle that?
Let's just stick it in the bag of holding and figure it later.
Okay.
I mean, we could also, could we just use it for like a party fund?
Yeah, party funds. Let's go.
Okay. I will just. Alright, so I will just track this in features and traits of the bag of holding. This is the amount that I'm adding, but I now need to see what that does.
I already have it. Oh, sorry.
I have to see what this does to the weight.
I have a little
So-
6 gold under bio, though. Under treasure.
Whenever you move that, it moves it for me as well, Kane.
Sorry.
Yeah, no worries.
But
Yeah, I see where you've got your funds marked. So, I see what you're saying.
Dang it.
I see what you're doing.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, there is good, too, so we can see what the, like... But yeah.
Yeah, all right.
Is it possible to remove an enchantment from one thing and put it on a different thing?
Generally not, but
Not in this realm.
maybe there's some way that's possible.
Oh, well.
Okay, so let me first. I'll add it from like the highest value coins to the lowest, just in case we hit a weight problem. So 136 plus 1. All right, so that's going to be 320. All right.
Say, I can actually. I've recently realized that the weight for Goliaths is not calculated correctly on this.
Oh, what's it supposed to be for you? Is your
supposed to-
carrying capacity like doubled or something?
Yeah, I think so.
Type that.
Okay, I mean,
Or, like, it counts as, like, a huge... Something like that.
so
Yeah, it's something like that. I count as like a large creature for carrying capacity or something like that, which makes it doubled my strength value or something like that.
okay, so that means that what's your strength right now?
Well, it's not 34 anymore,
No.
but I think it's 18.
Okay. So that means that
Yeah, you
normally,
count as one size larger.
normally your carrying capacity would be 90. So instead it's 180, I guess, which is a lot. Okay, so you just barely fit all that money in there. You've got less than a pound left, although we can potentially like throw away some copper and silver if we need to. All right, so there are some consumables. Let me see, there's an antitoxin, there's a potion of healing, 2 potions of greater healing, and 1 superior. Are those wanted? Should I throw them in the bag?
Wait, where are the potions of... Was there
They're
any...
under
What?
top.
consumables at the top.
Oh, I was okay. I see.
I would like one small health potion so that I can dump it in somebody's mouth
Actually,
in
maybe you
case
should.
somebody goes down again.
Maybe you should take the big one since you're the least likely to be unable to use it.
I would like one of the greater ones.
I think better for somebody else because I mean, somebody a greater one, it's not going to necessarily like be as good as them popping it early and then getting like 2 more rounds out.
Well, someone needs a superior. Someone needs to take the superior. And I figure since you are fast and can teleport and are least likely to be knocked out, you could.
I mean, I can take 2. Yeah, I can take a superior potion instead.
Yeah, because I already have 2 regular potions, so I'm good. Plus, I'm a rogue, so like, I'm hard to hit.
Okay, so Naxus took a superior, Colleen took a greater. We've got a normal and a greater left.
I mean, I can take any of the healing stuff because I do the least in combat, but I'm also the squishiest person.
I mean, are you just going to take all 3 of the non-superior ones?
Yeah, I can take them if no one else wants them specifically for themselves, since I sacrifice my health for my spells.
Sorry, I was gonna say we could split it. I was muted. I don't care. If you want to take them all, that's fine with me.
I'll take the tiny one, you take a greater one.
Okay, so Fallon, you get a potion of greater healing. Colleen, you get a normal and a greater. Alright.
Potion of healing.
Hey, Max.
So,
oh, sorry.
We good to keep going?
I was gonna ask him about how much weight he has to carry left, because there's a lot of stuff you can sell.
Like 30 pounds.
30 pounds? Alright.
Yeah, and I was just about to get to, we've got a 40-pound set of plate armor. Do you want to attempt that, or are you leaving it?
We definitely should not leave that.
Armor of psychic resistance.
Definitely not leave magic plate armor. We can sell that for so much money.
So, if you want to free up room in the bag of holding, you do have 40 pounds of paintings in there that you could potentially ditch, which would leave enough room for armor of psychic resistance. You also do have the barrel of scotch, which is currently taking up 120.
Fucking barrel of scotch.
Sell the paintings on the black market, Kane.
I mean, I could. I can't carry the paintings though, because I'm weak as fuck. So.
Hey, paintings are heavy. They're framed.
Yeah, I can carry 45 pounds, and I'm already at 43, so I'm pretty tapped.
I mean, if we can bundle it and then just I can carry it and be over encumbered, and it's not that big of a deal.
I mean, we could. Wait, hold on.
Also,
these guys.
I will point out, 3 of those paintings weigh 10 pounds and are worth 25 gold.
Oh fuck! Get that shit out of there.
So, are we dumping the 3 paintings that aren't worth very much?
That's fine.
All right.
Oh wait, there's a short sword of +1 in there.
Yeah. Or it's a rapier.
Wait, I'm gonna take that short sword real quick.
Wait,
actually.
what short sword?
No, in the bag of holding.
In the bag.
Oh yeah.
When I hit 12, I may or may
cool.
not be taking dual wielder. And hey,
It's clean.
You're okay. So we're taking the short sword +1 out of there. I mean, you do have a rapier +1 that you can also dual wield.
Yeah, but I'm gonna do the thing you talked about, where I have a light weapon in my right hand.
Oh no, that specifically dagger is what that requires.
Oh, that was a dagger.
Yeah.
Well, I'm taking a dagger from the list then.
Okay.
Not my inventory.
Yep. So you go ahead and give yourself a dagger +1. Weighs a pound. Okay. So right now, you've got about 30 pounds of capacity in the bag of holding. We've got this nicer painting that's worth 250 gold. You could potentially dump it. You could potentially have Maxis carry it, and then you could fit the plate armor in the bag. Thoughts?
I can just carry the painting.
All right.
and then
Yeah.
we can dump it off later.
All right, so
I
add
mean-
that to your inventory, Maxis. I am going to go ahead and remove it from the bag. Oh, actually, I will just replace it with the psychic resist plate armor. So, armor of psychic
Oh, did you add the components, Khalil?
resistance.
Yeah, I did. I added them all.
Plates.
Nice.
Okay. So that handles that one. Did somebody take the cloak of protection?
How much is this painting? Like, how heavy is it?
I got it
10
in the
pounds.
chat. 10 pounds.
Oh, okay.
Hey, Khalil, what's your strength?
The same as yours?
9?
Yes. No, mine's 8.
Oh, I'm actually stronger than somebody.
Does everybody have a cloak?
Weird.
Yeah, I got a cloak.
Yep.
I've got the same cloak that you just picked up.
Oh, sweet.
Teleport buddies.
Well, then I suppose we can. This.
We just load up on all this magic shit to sell later.
So you
As
do
much-
have some other items in the bag that may not be worth as much. You've got some smith's tools and some leatherwork tools, although I think a few of you might actually be able to use those. You've got a whetstone that weighs 1 pound. You've got a shao, which is your last legacy from Halal, which weighs 2 pounds.
I mean, I'm sure other people have some weight left, right? Aside from Max's.
Yeah, we are currently discussing a 2-pound cloak of protection.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
taking that.
Okay.
I mean,
We'll
I
just
can-
keep going until Max's is encumbered, then we'll see if Fallon has some room left and
Okay.
zip stuff to...
And you probably want to keep the magical items if you're just looking for stuff to sell.
Yeah, let's look at the magic.
yeah.
Oh, mine tells me I'm encumbered now. How did that happen?
Well, let's go ahead and take a look at that, Fallon.
What did you do to me?
So it's all the DM's fault.
I am opening up your character sheet.
This cloak weighs more than my helmet.
Yes. Yes, it does.
That's funny.
Roll
I like
20
that.
is
It's
being
a
very
very-
slow for me right now.
The well-made helmet, and it's magical, so it's lighter than normal.
Sure, we'll go with that.
Don't apply that logic to the cloak, though.
All right,
Which-
so let me continue talking through because I can't like type or click on things right now.
Okay.
Let me see. So you got the cloak of protection. So next is the 1 pound helm of blind sight.
I already put that on mine.
Okay. Next I've
Unless
got.
someone wants to try to.
Did somebody take the ring of protection?
I do.
Okay.
I took the quiver.
We've got a rope of climbing, which is 3 pounds. I'm going to refresh roll 20.
What's the rope of climbing do?
So this is, let me see. It is a 60-foot length of silk rope that you can command it. So the full rules are in the link on the page, but you can basically command it to cause one end of it to like move to a different spot, like tie a knot, coil itself for carrying things. So it's basically a rope that you can command around.
Well, we can sell that. Take it, sell it.
Yeah.
Okay, so 3 pounds for that. We've got a Staff of Healing, which is a pretty nice item, but none of you can actually use it due to your classes. That one is 4 pounds.
Where's the class of the new person? Did they use it?
Who knows?
Yeah, who knows?
Dang it. Alright.
Almost had him.
Almost. I could sense it. He was cracking.
It's too meta.
I think I'm gonna discard this short bow. I think it just picked it up. off
Yeah,
somebody's
short bow?
body.
You can certainly throw stuff away.
What is that
Use
noise?
a crossbow.
Goodbye,
Is it-
short bow.
Boomfoot crossbow.
Yeah, Fallon, I'm not
Yeah,
sure.
yeah, no, my crossbow's good. I think it's because I added all this stuff, right? I got a
Oh,
shield
yeah.
for 6 pounds, an amulet that's a 1 pound. My goodness, for an amulet, really. Frostbrand is 3
The
pounds.
Wait,
thick amulet.
which... Oh, yeah, the Holy Amulet, though. It's, like, ornate and shit, and made out of, like, precious metals, which are heavy.
True.
Okay.
Frosty's back.
So, all right. So, staff of healing is 4 pounds. Are we past that one?
Yeah, we'll just put
Alright.
that in Max's inventory.
Cool.
How you looking there, Maxis?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right. We've got a
What
1
staff is it?
pound wand of secrets.
Did he add the staff?
Yeah, I've got it already.
We've got 3 daggers that are +1, and they're 1 pound each.
All right, I'll take those as well.
All right. We've got 1 rapier +1, and that's 2 pounds.
I don't believe in rapiers.
Are you taking it, or are you leaving?
Yeah.
All right. Man, this is one of those video game packs officially at this point, but we're just gonna roll with it. All right, and here's the big boy. Although, oh yeah, so here's the big one. We've got a breastplate +1, and that's 15 pounds. And I do not think that is optimal armor for any of you.
Nope.
No, like it would basically just match my armor right now when I'm wearing like clothing. So,
Right. So
How much would you
are
get
you
for
looking
working?
to try to carry another 15 pounds with you, Maxis?
yeah, I can carry that, but that's going to take me basically up to the line of being over encumbered, I think.
Okay.
So what was the rule? It was your thing times 5.
Yeah, it's your strength times 5.
Okay.
Except for Maxis. And actually, let me just look up the.
Yeah.
rule
Yeah,
here
it
on
should
that
be
to
for a
be
large
very
creature.
certain.
Since
So carrying capacity under lifting and carrying.
What is in my Dungeoneers pack?
a bunch of cool stuff.
10 pounds, it better be.
Things like
Oh,
rope.
I'm
Okay, yep. You are, in fact, at double carrying capacity. That's pretty cool. All right.
also, by the way, I have a barrel of scotch that is 99 pounds.
Oh, it's only 99 pounds? We
Wait,
must have, like,
we-
not removed it
wait,
when we
on
put
your
it in the bag
person?
of holding.
Just hanging out on the person.
All right. So there's also one in the bag of holding, so we, like, failed to delete it from someplace when we moved it. Also,
Okay.
the weight officially should be less than what we had it at before. So, are you still carrying the barrel, or is it in the bag?
It's in the bag because that just seems
Okay.
silly.
All right, so that drops that to 99, and that means I think you can carry a ton of shit now, Maxis. You're like
Yeah,
almost
Also-
a bag of holding on your
Yeah, can we just all slowly add all of this other bullshit into my inventory?
So let me go through here. So yeah, there's Colleen took all the spellcasting components. All the non-magical weapons and armor, I don't think anyone has taken any of it. Oh, although I would point out, there are some +1 and +2 arrows there that might be of interest to people.
Oh fuck! +2 arrows. Hello,
Those are
what,
nice.
Arrows or bolts? What are we talking about?
arrows. Get out of here.
Okay.
They're mine.
You're not my friend.
Is anyone taking arrows besides Kane?
I'm taking all.
Nine.
All right,
I don't
so
have an...
all right, so Kane, you
Those.
get these then. So Maxis, let me just make a list of. So basically, what's left is stuff under non-magical weapons and armor and under supplies. Let me make a quick list of the things that other people have taken. So the magical arrows Kane has taken. Let me see here. The
No, I'm encumbered.
love
Can I add stuff to this bag of holding? I've never done this.
Yeah, so
it's just like a character sheet.
Yep, so add it to the bag of holding, delete it from your inventory.
Oh, I don't need this other quiver. I now have a super quiver of fire. So fuck this 1 pound quiver.
Okay, so
Do we really even want to fuck with these non-magical weapons?
It's going to be a small amount of money, and you do have a lot of money. But, you know.
Not really. I don't think. I just wanted to make sure we got the magical stuff and maybe the component stuff or the like supply. Any supplies look like they could be worth money.
Like, I'd kind of like to take the supplies because you never know when some weird shit might come in handy at some point.
It's true.
Yeah,
But,
I think
like-
we take the supplies, but fuck the weapons.
The only thing that I would ever even consider would be like the hand axes so I can throw them, but like I have 3 daggers on my belt that are +1 already, and I can just throw those if I'm throwing shit.
Yeah, I'd say get rid of them, or don't bother with those weapons.
Yeah, so I don't think we're gonna worry about these non-magical weapons unless someone else wants to grab something. Although
So-
I guess I could take a longbow, but I'm not dexterous.
Okay, so Casey, just
Mm-hmm.
so for the record, I have put the +1 arrows to the quiver, which can only hold 20. So
Okay.
I have 20 +1 arrows in the quiver. If I use my bow, it should be +1.
Are these darts those like half a javelin darts, or are they like monk darts?
They're like monk darts. Like, think
Okay.
throwing knives, basically.
Yeah, I ain't about that life.
So, Kane, you should have picked up 25 +1 arrows and 10 +2 arrows. So you're just like totally loaded up with the +1s right now. Kane?
Are you talking to me?
Yeah.
Sorry, I got someone talking to me.
Yeah, I said, so you took 25 +1 arrows and 10 +2 arrows, so you just like loaded up the quiver with the +1s?
Yeah.
Alright. So, yeah. So basically they're magical and they deal an additional 1d6. Cool. Alright, so can everybody, at the point that you are done fiddling with inventory stuff, confirm that? Once everybody has confirmed, then we will move on with the story.
Yeah,
Slow
story.
encumbered for 0.01. I'll drop 2 regular arrows. I am no longer encumbered.
LOL. There has to be something that I've got. Oh, I never gave you weight for Cyphera.
No, you did. You did. No, you didn't. Dang it.
Oh, let me see. How much did I have it on Crook's sheet?
It's just rude. Please. Hey, when the arrows are fired, do they stay magical?
After they're fired once, they lose their magicness.
Okay. Just checking.
Yep. Alright, so I got Kane encumbered again. He's basically an ocean in life.
What'd you do? How much is the looking glass? 0.1?
0.1.
Get out of here. I'll trap 2 more arrows then.
There has to be something else. I mean, there are things.
No, why
I
does
could
he
make
keep
this
trying to
locket
make
win
an
something.
attack?
Alright.
He's trying to make an attack for the arrows whenever I...
Alright, I'll
Delete.
stop. Alright.
Thank you.
Colleen, I think I heard that you were done.
What?
Are you done fiddling with inventory stuff?
Yeah.
Ooh, bitch.
Fallon?
I think I'm done. I don't know how to set up the shield. Do I set up the shield with the sword?
So basically, well, I'll show you what I normally do. And this is something that the sheet is going to overwrite every time you change something. So you've got to, like, remember to do it. Hello? Roll 20. Roll 20 is so slow right now for some reason.
Yeah, I don't know what the deal is.
Okay, there we go. So, like, your AC is 18 right now. So what I normally do is I just put a slash there and I say 18/20 so that I know that, like, if I'm using a shield, it's at 20, but if I'm not, it's at 18. And then basically what I'll do is, unless you say otherwise, I'll assume that if you recently did anything that required 2 hands, then you're probably not using your shield. But if you've been
Right.
sticking to one-handed, then you're probably using your shield.
Gotcha.
What is
Okay.
a dulcimer?
A musical instrument. One of them had a dulcimer. Do you know why they had a dulcimer? Do you know what secrets they bore in their heart? One of these individuals who you either killed or captured?
Okay,
Nope.
you're once again trying to make me feel bad for people that stabbed Colleen in the chest while she was on the ground defenseless. And this shit is just not gonna happen.
Wait, hold on. Who had a dulcimer? What are you talking about? What?
One of the people you killed had a dulcimer. You're a musician. Okay, so Colleen sounds done. Fallon, are you doing anything more?
I'm good. I'm good.
Alright.
I already added all my stuff.
Kane, how you doing?
I'm fine.
Okay, Maxis, still working?
I'm putting all of the kits in my backpack now.
Alright, cool. Just
I'll try one last time. Can I wear 2 cloaks?
No.
Okay. Then I'm fine.
Good try though.
Thanks.
Alright.
Otherwise, I would be wearing this protection cloak.
But you had the other cloak.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna
Wear one of
name...
the stash.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Never mind.
So for my YouTube thumbnail for this, because like I've obviously been disregarding quality for everything else that I posted to YouTube, so I'm just gonna definitely post all this without cutting it. I think I'm just gonna take like a screenshot of like somebody menuing in a video game and just call this inventory management as the title of the episode.
Oh, just use the picture that Braveshine put up with the guy falling over for picking a flower.
Wait, is that this last thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. Let me save this real quick.
So this kid's been watching us as we all like talk and bicker and like move our shit around from our packs and into like the bag of holding, and like Max is like takes out this fucking cask of like goddamn scotch and puts it in there, and he's just like, "Oh,
Well,
this was in my
scotch
backpack
was
the whole
already in
time. My
there.
bad."
The scotch was already in there, and we just forgot to... Well, maybe we didn't. Maybe he was carrying it, actually. So, yeah, he's just sitting patiently, smiling.
All right. I look at him like, "You wouldn't want to buy this other stuff, would you?"
He
Like the
raises
weapons
an
and
eyebrow.
I'm sure you could use them.
He said, "It looks like you're planning to leave a great deal behind."
Buy it in bulk.
He looks
We can carry it.
He looks at the ground, he looks up at you. Let me see here. Oh, wait a minute. He
Give you a
says,
good deal.
Well, haven't you... Is there anything that you, like, haven't scooped up? Like what are you planning on leaving?
All
at
the
this point?
weapons.
All the weapons?
Like
All the
not much
weapons. I'm not taking any of the clothes. All of these like kits and the thieves' tools and stuff like that is basically in like a separate pack because we're planning on selling it.
Right.
Oh wait,
So like,
quick question. I have a full like, all my kits are like full now, right?
I think
I've
so.
since made sure all my, because there was a point in time where like, oh,
yeah,
it
you
was when I
lost some
died.
shit. Yeah, it was when you died.
My shit was, I couldn't do rogue shit, and I was upset.
So
Alright.
he says he looks at the stuff that you guys are like clearly leaving, and he says, "I'll give you a silver for it."
I mean, you can still carry it, man. Look at this guy. See how big his muscles are?
I'll take a silver. I don't want to carry that shit.
Legs.
Wait, what are we talking about? All the
Selling
All
them
the
bulk.
weapons that are on the ground.
Selling them in bulk.
I'm down with that. 1 silver. Done.
All right.
What? No.
Kane.
He does not speak for us.
Kane, he flips you a silver, and one of the drow comes over and scoops up all the weapons that you left.
He scoops me 1 silver.
Yes.
We're literally
You get a silver.
leaving them in the garbage otherwise. So yes, that's fine.
I was kind of hoping it would maybe encumbered from that 1 silver, but I'm good. I'm not
Alright.
encumbered yet.
All right. And then he says, "Now, if everything is resolved to your satisfaction, and he sort of looks meaningfully at you and pauses for a long moment, there is a matter I would very much like to discuss. And this is now the leader, apparently, at least, who's been sitting behind the desk this entire time. He says, this concerns our mutual friends, with whom you had a quarrel just a moment ago. The information. My companions and I have uncovered a few things about this group, which I believe may be of some benefit to you. While I of course hope that you might share such as you have learned, knowing that I am offering this freely, and in the belief that our interests align in this regard, know that, while I hope that you might share such as you've learned, know that I'm offering this freely, in the belief that our interests are aligned here. After careful observation and questioning, we've uncovered, and he shrugs, what perhaps you may know, that the primary aim of this group appears to be the recovery of certain artifacts of great power. He nods at Fowlin, at least a few of which it seems you possess. However, it might also interest you to know that they have abducted at least 2 individuals, Piotric Tumblewillow of Onset and Fiona Emberwisp of Rampart, though to what end the drow are not certain. To what end we are not certain. We also believe that this group has surfaced in Pertinos, which is in the north of the Elven territory, where they have demonstrated an interest in, 2 individuals who may be familiar to you, Halel Sarandon and Liriana Ferondin. Yes, Halel, who is your traveling companion, and Liriana, whom you recently failed to recover from the Illithids.
Wait, what?
I know what I said might be surprising.
Failed to recover from what's an illithid?
The Mind Flayers. You'll no doubt remember them. You met them in Undrosk quite some time ago. I apologize for not introducing myself at the time. We were observing from a distance.
Wait. Have we met before?
We've crossed paths.
Where did he say Piotric was, Casey?
Onset?
Onset? Okay.
Actually, that name would be familiar to you. Reference your backstory, yep.
Where did we cross paths?
Oh, and actually, Kane, Fallon, and Colleen, if you don't recognize the name Fiona Emberwisp, you can give me an intelligence check.
It's time for Kane to shine.
Yeah, I always roll really well on intelligence checks. And Kane always crits on them. Oh, maybe not.
That's a save.
Fallon, yep, it's a save. Please reroll. It's just a check.
Actually, it's the same. He has a +0. It doesn't.
Yeah, it's the same, but I made a rule to just always reroll, so that I wasn't making decisions based on the result.
Hey, Fallon.
Okay, Fallon, you remember this person. Way back when your party first met up in Rampart, you guys went to a library there, and she was the librarian. She seemed to be a friend of Halale's.
Yeah, I thought, wasn't that just Halale?
So,
was it just that?
I could have remembered Halale mentioning her.
No, I never went anywhere with Halale.
Okay. For continuity's sake, I will say that you remember Halale talking about her.
Okay.
Ooh.
And that she's in Rampart.
I kind of just turned to Fallon and whisper we didn't fight Illithid, right?
Fight what?
We didn't fight any Illithid, right? And we saved Halil's girlfriend, right?
No, I thought Haleal's girlfriend flew away as a magic dragon.
But
We
then
didn't
you,
know if it was
but
her.
then you recovered her after that
Like,
point and
you
brought her
recovered
out.
her.
That's what you remember.
Brought her back to Siren.
Is
Right?
it, to clarify, is it Lael got taken by the mind flayers?
There are no mind
No,
flayers.
they're saying
Were there?
Liliana did.
Oh.
Wait, when did we fight mind flayers?
Oh, sorry, it's Kane. Temporals.
Ah.
Wait,
no, did we actually fight mind flayers though? I'm confused now.
You don't remember fighting mind flayers.
Okay, you confused me just because you said did Halil get taken by mind flayer? You said yes.
Sorry, I was just trying to clarify my
Yeah.
with Casey's plotting.
Y'all, this
So
is some real grade A shit coming from my corner.
I nod towards Colleen and I say, Fiona was Hale's friend at the library.
I can't imagine that monk being in the library.
It's a place with books.
Of course, but why would Haleal have ever gone to
So the drow leader though looks at you.
Wait, so
Kane.
Halil's girlfriend is still in the Underdark? This is in character, sorry.
Yeah. He says, yes, to the best of my knowledge. And in fact, that incident was when, well, again, my people, unsavory as our reputation might be, are not exactly comfortable with the mind flayers, like most of anyone else, and we keep an eye on the place. We took notice of your group at that time.
So, is she dead?
I don't believe so. Well, there seems to have been movement. Well, honestly, there's been movement throughout much of the Underdark. Many of the goblins who occupied great swaths of the cavern have abandoned their homes, and aberrations seem to have multiplied. However, with the Mind Flayers in particular, we've seen their thralls toiling on towers in the eastern end of the territory, putting the finishing touches on some great work, we believe. As for your friend, well, we can only keep so close of an eye on her. I mean, on any individual in that city, so she may perhaps be deceased, but we've not confirmed this.
So hold on, Casey. Are you gonna make us go back to all the Qui-Gods?
I mean,
No,
I'm not going to make you do anything.
Mind Flayer City.
Welcome to my Slayers. Okay. That's fine.
Anyways, he shrugs and says, at any rate, I wanted to inform you about the abductions, in part because, frankly, and he sort of shrugs, well, actually, how would he refer to his group? I guess I'll just say for now.
His butt buddies.
Yes, my butt buddies and I haven't quite been able to track down the thread tying these individuals together.
It's dromies. It's complicated.
Do you know something?
Did I recognize any of those names?
We know lots of things.
Oh, and he
is
says, by the way, it occurs to me I've been... where are my manners, indeed? My name is Donvir Denorin. Pleasure to meet you.
Hey, Don. The blue in here is Kane.
He says, yes. I know well.
This here is Gamork. Or do we need to introduce ourselves or no?
He
No,
clearly
he's the
knows
leader
who
of our
you are,
group.
but as you introduce Gamork, he says, yes, right. And for the first time, he stands up from behind the desk. He gives a small bow, and he says, "Welcome, Master Gamork." And then he sits back down.
I'm Fallon.
You may bow.
I pause for him to stand back up. I look at him expectantly.
He leans back in his chair, and he gives you a smirk.
Fine. This is
Do I
clean.
recognize any other names, Casey?
So names you would have recognized: Halil, Lyriana, of course. The other two, one you didn't remember, and the other I don't think you'd recognize.
Okay, cool.
And,
Who the fuck
this
are
is
you guys
friend
again?
Goliath.
He gives a small wave.
Sorry, Max.
I'm real charismatic, you guys. So who the hell are you all again?
He just said his name was Donnie.
I know his name. I don't know what the hell he's doing or why he's been watching us, though. This is just more useful information to me.
Right. He says, "All you need to know for now is we're a group of drow who like to keep an eye on things and like to make sure that things keep running smoothly. And recently they seem not to have been."
Well, in the past, Halil ran around with us all greased up.
Right.
And his friend, Lyriana, in a
Your
different
audio is like
time.
really quiet right now for some reason.
Really what?
Oh, there we go. That's much better.
Sorry.
No problem.
And in a different time, we saved Lyriana from some different creatures. But here we go again.
He
I don't even know what a mind flayer is.
squints a little bit and he's like, "She's been abducted multiple times?"
Seems to be a habit.
Awkward.
If you ever see any temporals, be wary.
He frowns at you a little bit and he says, "How would I recognize one?"
They look like turtles.
On a side note, have we ever figured out what causes us to time shift?
No, I just stopped even trying.
You've gotten very close. But
I
no.
know, that's why I stopped, because it was close and it was bugging me. And I have other things to do with my life. Then pour over our VODs, try to figure out what the hell we did exactly to cause time shift. I don't even know when the last one
Colleen?
happened.
Have you figured it out?
Have I figured it out?
Yeah.
No, the closest we got was the cat thing on the map, and then I stopped thinking about it.
And I'm the dumb character, so why am I even trying to figure this out?
Like the key was introduced with the cat thing, and then we lost the cat thing, and I was like, oh, well, there goes that one.
I don't even
But
know
like
what
the
you're
first
talking
time it happened was on the blimp to Dale's Harbor,
about. Every time we take airships, we
and
just...
I tried to figure out what we did on the fucking airship, and I couldn't. And look at him, look at his fucking face. He loves it so much.
Apparently the answer is don't fall asleep.
The only thing I will say is that the first 3 times that it happened were a little different than the fourth time. The fourth time's a bit of an anomaly.
When the fuck what's the fourth one? I don't even know when. I only remember about the one.
Oh, you weren't
Dale's
there
Harbor.
for the fourth one. You experienced it separately.
Was there one when we were like in the woods, like trying to hide from an ambush?
Yeah, so the first one was going to Dale's Harbor. The second one was in the woods going north from the tower when you were trying to get to Tava's Peak.
Yeah, I can't remember that.
The third one... When was the third one now? I'm actually kind of forgetting. The fourth one was pretty recent. Oh, the third one was in Citadel, I think. No? No. It had to have been before you went back to Tava's Peak, actually. Because... Oh, wait, no, you gotta remove that. Oh, you know what? There were only 2. There were those 2, and then the third one was when you were in Westeros, in the basement. After you had the interaction with Corin's spirit.
Okay, so it's only okay. So what it is? Nothing.
All right, so we could talk about this later because this conversation can go haywire. So going back to
It
where
has.
we were. So Donvir looks at you all and says, "So that's the situation as best we can see it. We are tracking a few other small groups besides the one that you ran into. Perhaps there are others. The ones in the Elven territory are the main other group that we're aware of. Well, in Pertinos and then in the Dwarven territory. That being said,
Opposite end of the island.
we're gearing up to question your new friends."
Ooh, can I help?
He looks at you and says, "Actually, I was just about to suggest, do you have anything that you think would be profitable to ask them? You're, of course, free to watch."
I'd like to ask how this knife feels in his ribs.
Ask him where's the gauntlet of diffusion.
The Gauntlet of Suffusion?
Yeah, that's the one.
Right,
That's
interesting.
a diffusion.
I mean, I guess we could ask him why they kidnapped the those people.
I think we kind of know. We could ask him where. What was Fiona and the other one that we didn't know?
Fiona Emberwisp is the one that you recognized the name.
Right. But there
Piotric
was
Tumblewillow was the other one.
an old Tumblewillow. Where are they?
Yeah, why they
whereabouts?
kidnapped Fiona and Tumberwillow?
Petey Tumblewillow.
Very well. He says, and he makes a small motion, and one of the drow nearest the door sort of knocks. It opens from the outside, and he says, "If you leave this room to the right, there's a small sitting room where you can feel free to make yourselves comfortable. Again, our new friends are in one of the other rooms. If you'd like to come and observe, feel free."
Is Jerry is Garrulus or whatever you're called?
Kyrian?
Gary, he's alive, right? He's one of them.
Yes.
That's who he's
Right.
about to point. To
So
torture.
Fallon was like, well, the last time we interrogated him, it's kind of like he turned out not to be really that bad. I don't know how it'll be this time. But keep that in mind. You might be able to appeal to his morality. I don't know.
I see. You've interrogated him before?
Well, someone just like him. I mean, spot on.
Whatever god controls your world reuses the same tropes hard.
Yes,
Sorry,
he does.
I'm a little fourth wall breaking there, but anyways. Alright. Okay.
The gods are truly unimaginative.
Word.
Rude.
Is anyone so who's joining in with the interrogation and who's sitting in the side room?
In the side
I'm
room, we're just
definitely
watching, right?
Side room is just like Netflix and chill. Well,
Oh,
maybe no Netflix.
Netflix and chill, you
Chill.
say.
Sign me up for a side room.
I'd like to be tortured.
I haven't become torture. I'll
First, I need a rope with tie knot at the end, and then I need to cut the bottom out of a chair.
right. I'm gonna. I'll go and see what the people have to say.
Okay. Alright, so I guess Colleen and Maxis go and just sort of relax for a while. Fallon and Kane, you go into the room where the prisoners are. It's basically, it's about what you'd expect. There's some cages, more or less. And they've got each of these 2 individuals, you know, basically fully restrained. Lols. You do notice on the ground inside the cells there appears to be some sort of sigil running around the outside. Not particularly ornate or anything, but involved. Very, very much just sort of functional looking. You know, if you want to guess at its purpose, you can give me Arcana. So as you go in, you see Donvir comes in with you. He, yeah, you're not sure, but it probably helps keep him there and not doing bad things.
Fallon points and whispers to King, "Look, magic."
So yeah, so Donvir comes in with you. He, the other drow who seems to be his lieutenant, so that's, yeah, Varys. And
Do you have a bow?
You're gonna keep leaning into that joke, aren't you?
Is he 2 gay guys and a demon?
Basically. They exchange a few words with each other. You hear snatches of it. They're basically just talking about what they want to ask these people. And then it begins. Surprisingly, what you see isn't torture so much as it is, well, they're forcibly injected with a few different concoctions in sequence. And then
So are we in the room with them, or like in like a 2-way mirror situation?
No, you can see them. They can see you, at least as far as you're aware. Maybe the rune is doing something, but you don't see anything preventing them from seeing you. But you can certainly see and hear what's going on inside.
So while they're being injected, I'd like to take out my blade that most likely still has the blood of that wizard on it, and just start cleaning off the blood while I look at them.
Okay.
And just kind of like smirk, be like, "This was your friend."
Right, so, let me see. Yeah, you know, they sort of have a stoic, so there's a tiefling, so, like, part, like, basically demon-blooded, but
Devil-blooded.
largely human. And there's also Garian. The tiefling just sort of has a very almost stern look on his face. Just sort of stares ahead, sort of like disciplined looking. Garian sort of looks down at the ground. Yeah, so they first, let me see here. So first they go to the tiefling, and they start running, and as they give him the second injection, you see him sort of slacken a bit. He loses that sort of defiant look that he had on his face. And as they give him the third one, he simultaneously lifts a little bit, and you can look in his eyes and see that they're fairly vacant. So let me see here. For sake of not role-playing with myself for the next 10 minutes, yeah, don't... That sounds like a euphemism.
Do you want me to just
I was
burst in asking?
formulating a joke.
Need a hand?
They run him through the kind of questions that you'd expect. Sort of like, who are you with? Where are you coming from? What are you doing here? And basically what they get out of him is that he is, in fact, a cleric of Alkadir. That...
Can I hold up a fiddle? Like, all right.
that...
Oh, no.
That he is with, indeed, the group known as the Ashal. You learn something of the organization of this group. The leaders of the Ashal are divided into sort of 4 tiers. There are the 21, 13, the 7, the Crystal Tomb is brought to you by Swedish Fish. Throw me a nickel, seriously.
I love you. Well,
So, this person themselves, they're named Ursil Threndar. They are one of the 13. They were being led by the human in the group, the fighter, whose name was Nessa Elderbranch. She was one of the 7. He claims not to know who the 3 are. That the way that he claims that the way the tiers work within the Ashal is that you only know about the immediate level above you. Let me see. He does confirm that his group was seeking the vestiges, that they tracked your group in the understanding that you had one or more of them. And he claims, when they ask him about the kidnappings, he claims that that was not his mission and that he doesn't know anything about it. They finish going through that round of questions, and then the drow who is questioning sort of turns back to the 2 of you, and he says, anything to add while he's under the influence?
So you know nothing about this Piotr or Fiona? Or what's her name again?
Piotric?
The elf lady that we know of but never met.
Fiona.
Fiona. I was thinking Fiora.
Fiona
Okay.
Emberwisp is actually a human.
Oh, I don't think I said her. Yeah. Anyway, about this Piotr and Fiona. What's the significance of them? Why are they important?
He looks at you and he says, to my mission here, nothing as far as I know. My mission was to recover the vestiges.
Didn't the others have different missions
Presumably.
that aren't involved with the vestiges?
I don't know what the others are doing.
Did you have any luck with the
Your-
vestiges?
His eyes sort of roll back for a moment, and he says, Vona was rather smug about something, so maybe she did, but I don't know.
So your group was after vestiges, since the other groups are after something else.
So was this just the vestiges of Alkadir? Yeah, after all of it.
That's what he's saying. And then the drow sort of
Well,
holds
that's
up
what I'm
his
trying
hand.
to figure out.
The drow's been interrogating him, sort of holds up his hand for a moment. And he says, who's Vona? He says, the wizard who is with our group. And he nods.
Oh, the one I killed.
Yep.
Did we get
Oh, I said that
anything
in
off of
character
that
to him.
guy?
I want to see his reaction.
Nothing that you recognize as a vestige.
I look to the drow and we say, did you hold anything back from the bodies?
And, and he looks at you and says, look, you're the one packing the heat here. No.
Insight check.
That's not an answer.
Yeah,
So-
I'm saying insight check.
and then as he sees you staring at him some more, he says, no. If you want to insight check him, you can
Oh,
go
I
ahead.
do. Damn it. Kane would know.
You don't think that this is a flat lie, but both of you sort of get the impression that he's not being 100% straight.
I thought we were friends.
We were doing so well.
Okay, just a second. I've got to look
I mean,
something
we're
up.
jointly interrogating these people.
I was ready to start cutting up into it.
Where was the trust?
Right, okay. And he says, look, I'm making an assumption here. I wasn't the one who took their things to you. And he
Who
says,
did?
and he looks sort of like helplessly at Donvir. Who...
Oh, wait, Donvir's there?
Yeah, he's been sort of standing in the background.
I would have asked Donvir straight up, did you hold back anything? I wouldn't have bothered with this underling.
Okay, so now you guys turn to Donvir.
Yeah.
Yes.
Did
Alright.
you hold anything
Gaze
back?
on Donvir.
And he looks at you and sighs and says, we might have taken the wizard's spell book.
We should
Hold on,
spell.
let me pull up my Google Drive.
Yeah, what the fuck? What were the messages again?
The three that you do not have are the...
Oh, we have 4 of them? Holy shit.
Yeah, the Gauntlet of Suffusion, the Chalice of Prosperity, and the Axe of Sundering.
Oh. So not a book.
Correct.
Why would you keep
So
the book?
did Kaleem's mage senses start tingling about 30 seconds ago?
I don't
Yeah,
think
she
you
should
would
have
do
done.
that.
She should have done that thing where we talked to each other in our heads since y'all didn't want to come visit.
And-
Probably.
And he shrugs and says, look, there were some potentially useful spells written in it. I didn't think it would hurt anything to help ourselves to that one small item when your wizard seemed quite capable on her own.
Could you at least allow our wizard to give it a look over?
No, we just need it. Overruled. We just need it, Kane.
Everyone's overruling me today. It's the worst. First, a silver for all that equipment, and now this.
Yes, that was a mistake.
You weren't
Anyway,
going
All
to take
that-
the equipment with you anyway.
All
We
that
might
Why does
have-
nobody respect the 17-year-old, huh?
And he says, look, can we just respect the fact that we gave you literally everything else?
because
That's why
we,
I was just saying, just in case he maybe has some kind of code or something.
I look at him and I
was
say,
thinking
do you give it or do we take it?
He sort of rolls his eyes and sighs.
That's a character. By the way.
Also, both of you give me insight checks again with disadvantage this time.
Why disadvantage?
Why are you trying to threaten the man? We're surrounded. We're injured. We're down shit.
We also have a lot of powerful stuff, and who cares? I'm not gonna bow to some underground elf guy.
All right. He sort of waves his hand. He says, Varus, go get the spell book. He nods and leaves the room and says he'll be back
Fallon.
with it in a moment. Can we continue?
Fallon says, "Was that all?"
Yes.
I would turn back to the tiefling. I feel like I didn't get a clear response.
That's just good storytelling.
Oh wait a
All right,
minute.
KC.
All right. So again, I just want to specify, whenever someone makes an insight check, I I always roll that against deception, whether the person's actually being deceptive or not, unless there's a
Okay.
specific reason to do otherwise, just to say, like, how readable is this person?
Gotcha.
You look at this guy, and, like, any other time, or actually, wait, let me think about that. Is that actually fair? You know what? No, that probably isn't. I gave him advantage on his roll, but I probably shouldn't have. I'm actually going to roll that back. What you got off of him was incredibly natural, and you don't know what it is. You might have seen the slightest twist at the edge of his mouth. You might have seen the slightest flick of his eyes. There's something else.
Okay, so I just say, "Oh shit, Kane, he's lying."
I just look at Donvir.
He sighs and rolls his eyes again. Maybe they had a sending stone on them.
I'm tempted to say, "Is that all again?"
Do you?
Yeah, I do.
Maybe they had 3 sending stones.
I don't know when to start trusting that is.
He says, fair enough. That's all they had, though. You want to try the insight check again?
Last time.
Actually, both of you. Well, let me see. Is that right? Because he's gonna have
Tell us his secrets.
that. Fallon,
Yes.
whatever moment of inspiration you had, has departed you a bit. He's very practiced. He's unreadable for you at the moment. Kane, not to you. You've acquired the spidey sense from Fallon. He's come straight with you. You're pretty sure.
Okay, now back to this guy. When you said the wizard, you mean the one I killed, right?
Yes.
Cool. I just kind of like rest my rapier on his shoulder. All right, so
at this moment, Varus comes back in the room with the spell book. Donvir turns to him and says, "Go get the sending stones too." Varus pauses for like the slightest of beats, but then without saying or giving anything away on his face, he turns back around and leaves the room.
all right. So
and he says,
I think
"Here is the wizard's spell book," and hands it to you, Fallon.
and he's encumbered.
Just
Probably.
holding it in my hands.
Yeah,
How much?
but-
No, actually, I parted with a lot. Put it in the bag of holding.
Do you have the bag of holding? Who has the bag of holding? I thought
Well,
Maxis had it.
when we were moving stuff around, we were putting stuff in bags of holding.
All right,
Am I not
yeah.
able to put things in it?
Oh, yeah, you were allowed back then. So, yeah, you can take this without being overweight. So, add a 3 pound. This is Vona's spell book. And if it becomes relevant at some point, I can provide the list of spells that are in that spell book.
It won't be to me. I'll give it a clean when I get a chance. But is to kind of thumb through it to see if there's anything in there that would give me any clues to what Bona was smug about.
What she was... Oh, you glance through it. Give me Arcana.
Working on.
As far as you can tell, this is really just It is a book full of spells. It's got a fair number of them. In fact, it's got 10, 14, 18, 20. I mean, it's got around 30 spells in there from what you can tell. You can't quite read it well enough to know what the spells are, but yeah, there's some shit there. You don't see any like margin notes about like found a vestige of Alkadir today, or you know, I'm
New
starting
diary.
to question my sexuality or anything like that. But
Okay.
So I just wanted to be clear. I feel like I didn't get clear answer when I asked this question. But so, like the guy, rapier resting on his shoulder. So you all were looking for vestiges. Like all set, you were looking for the 7 vestiges, and then there's
okay, so
other
you're
groups that
talking to
look
the
for
prisoner
something
once
else.
again.
Yeah,
Yes.
got the partially bloody rapier on his shoulder from
Yep.
friend's blood.
Yep. Yes.
You don't know what they were looking for.
They?
The other groups.
No.
Did they inject Garion?
Not yet.
Do you think Garion knows more than you?
I doubt it.
What were you planning to do if you found a vestige?
He'll take it back, obviously.
But if you got all the vestiges, what were you planning to do?
The 3 know, I presume.
Well, you know, that's just sad. You know, you could have done so much on your own. You set your sights low.
Now you're just gonna die in a hole.
He
No offense, elves.
shrugs and he said, "Well, tiefling. He
No, he's to the
To the drow.
Oh, I
The
see.
drow.
What you're saying.
They
He
live and
says-
die in holes.
He says, "None taken." Very deep voice drow, which is unusual. The prisoner says, "We'll see soon enough if Alkadir has any use remaining for me." And at this moment, he sort of slumps fully forward, and the drow who started the interrogation says, "All right, looks like fun time's over. Shall we move on to the next one?"
I say, yeah. Let me just talk to him first for a second.
Yeah, sure thing. At this moment, the Varys comes back in the room and walks over to Donvir. He says, 3 sending stones. Hands them to Donvir. Donvir holds them and says, "One of you want these?"
You wanna grab him, Kane?
Yeah, I'll grab him.
I'm going to grab his sending stones.
Yep, I'm gonna grab his stones.
All right. Let me see here. So these weigh 0.2 pounds each. Label them with. Well, actually, you wouldn't know that. So let me think of the right way to have you label these.
I already have 2 sending stones. Like, I'll put these as the 2 Alkadir stones, but
There's 3.
You know what?
3
Label them
Alkadir
this
stones.
way. Label them 1, 2, and 4.
1, 2, and 4.
Yeah, 1, 2, and 4.
Sending stone 1.
Why am I skipping 3? Who knows?
Do we need to ask Don? Or they're only.
How much would they weigh? 0.2?
0.2 each.
And over encumbered.
All right.
Wait, did the weight not go through? What? I think I broke my inventory. I should be encumbered. Just, oh, by the way, but it's not. It didn't add the weight. I'll figure it out. Let's just keep going.
Yeah, I see nothing wrong, so I'm going to continue. All right. So, anyways, yeah, he shrugs, and Fallon, you can certainly talk to Kyrian if you want.
Yeah, I say, Gary, we've been here before, you and I. Last time it was on an airship, I think. Had a big snake. And I took your cloak. I don't have my snake now, but we got your cloak back.
He frowns a little bit, and he says, "Nice to see you again." And actually, let me think about this. Would he know? Would he actually know? Yeah, he would. He says, "Nice to see you again, Fallon."
I said, yeah, you probably don't.
You probably don't.
I said he probably doesn't remember.
Right, but he said...
He just knows my name. But he might have known about us.
Yeah, sure, but I'm just saying...
He's indicating he remembers.
Well, maybe not. I'm just saying what he said.
Okay. Oh, maybe you do remember. Do you remember coming clean on account of your conscience?
He thinks for a moment and says, "Are you referring to something specific?"
I can't remember exactly how that went because it was so long.
Like, oh, he's in there playing.
What happened? Did he like give up?
Like, oh god.
I mean, you did threaten him with Terry.
Oh, that's right. But didn't he like? Excuse me. Didn't he? What all did he give up to us? Just that Shaw were there trying to get the stuff.
Yeah, I mean, like, more or less that. He wouldn't tell you anything too specific because he was, like, you know, one of those more afraid of them than you things. But he... I don't remember specifically at this point what he did tell you, but, like, you asked him some yes-no questions, and he gave you a little bit of insight into generally what the Ashal were about, like, was he let alone, that kind of thing.
Look, Jerry, you told us about the Ashal. You told us a little bit about their goals. I'd like to know more.
Okay. I mean, look, this isn't a very good situation for me at the moment, obviously, but you seem to like me more than the rest of them for some reason, so is there an upside for me here?
Well, you weren't casting magic. That's what.
I mean,
Saved
maybe.
you from me.
I don't know what these elves are doing, but if you don't want to get shut up with talk juice, you could just talk. Or you can get shut up with the talk juice.
He sort of tips his head. Depends on what you ask me, but let's give it a shot.
What
are you after?
Sorry.
Who am I after?
Or what? Either one.
Same thing that he said. I don't know any more than him about that. I'm lower than him in the organization.
Not anymore.
I suspect you'll be promoted.
It appears that we're at about the same level at the moment.
He looks a little...
Soon you'll be higher.
Maybe
and I kind of just finished ripping up my blade.
I don't know what to ask this guy. Like, we know this all suck and they're across the sea trying to get this stuff. What was their goal again? Just like ultimate power, or just to be able to break the spell to get to here faster?
Having a little bit of trouble understanding what you're saying.
Sorry, what was your group's main purpose? Just ultimate power, or just to break the spell to get to our little island?
He shrugs and says, "I'm only guessing, but we learned about the vestiges and people wanted them. People above my pay grade." I was sort of conscripted into this group to begin with, to be honest.
Insight check that.
Yeah, sure, go ahead. actually, let me roll that against. Let me see here. Okay, 19.
You could just make the new guy take over again.
Okay. So you look at him, Kane, and actually, he. So on the one hand, he seems like he's a fairly practiced hat at deception. On the other hand, like he seems very open with that admission. Like he sort of seems to have his guard down. You guess that he's actually just like intentionally sort of turning off his mask to try to like actually sell you on what he's willing to tell you. So you think he's probably genuine about sort of being conscripted to some degree.
What do you mean conscripted?
He says, the shall rule the world, and if they see a talent they like, that talent joins them.
Wait, they rule the world? Do we know they ruled the world?
You might have learned it at some point, but the source wasn't very clear.
What's your talent?
Advanced parlor tricks. He nods at Kane. I'm kind of like him, except I've got a bit of magic as well.
Dual
I'm
class.
magical.
He says, not exactly.
But you can't hold your breath forever.
He nods at Kane.
Tell me that magic trick, bitch.
He looks at you and says, I don't think I'm in much of a position for magic tricks at the moment. Anyways.
Well, shoot, now I just feel bad. This man, he was conscripted. I feel less cool about killing him.
Yeah, but he didn't feel bad about trying to kill all of us. And Colleen did die.
Is this out of character, by the way, or in character?
Oh, I think we were both out there.
Okay.
Yeah, it's out of character.
Alright. Jumping back in.
Well, Fallon, I don't think we're gonna get much more if he's lower than the tiefling.
Well, do you know anything about Pietrick or Fiona that would be useful to finding them?
He looks at you and says, honestly, no. And then he thinks for a moment and says, would it be anything to my credit if you knew that I've helped you?
Helped us how? And you're going to have to be very specific.
You were captured in the Wanti city of Vixeth. Most of you were in a cage. Not you, he looks at Fallon, but I mean at Kane. But the rest of you, I came by and let you out.
I look at Fallon. That true?
I was disguised as Yuan-Ti at the time.
Look at Fallon. Did a Yuan-Ti let you out?
I mean, why would you have done such a thing? Should you have?
He says, look, I was with the group I was with, so you can imagine my motives weren't entirely...
Altruistic, yes. I've learned that word.
But...
I haven't.
I figured your group was more useful let free than locked up in a cage. So I let you out.
So you could steal the crown.
He shrugs.
From
and
us,
says,
instead of a temple full of Yuan-Ti.
look, that's the best defense I got, and it's no use to me to hold on to the information. He says, frankly, If you had been to my corner of the world, you would be more afraid of the Ashal than of your group as well. Vestiges or no vestiges.
But see, here's the thing I don't understand. Why would you be more afraid of them if they can only get here in small numbers? And you see what we do to those small numbers.
He says,
If you were to help us, then you'd be able to keep them from you.
have you ever heard stories of heroes fighting against terrible villains where the villain is much more powerful than the hero at the beginning and could easily squash the hero, but for some unknown reason they continue to send weak flunkies after them until finally the hero is too powerful to handle, and eventually they lose, if you will.
Sure.
You know stories like that? Right.
Go
So
on.
they're like that. I'm the flunky, except I'm not convinced they're going to lose yet. So if I turn too hard on them, well, it doesn't go very well for me either.
But if you stick with us, and we can just kill whoever they send after you.
It's not that simple. And he thinks for a moment and says, I've been with their organization. The consequences for being a Ashal and turning against the Ashal are rather more severe and in a rather more automatic way than simply fighting against them.
They got some magic on you?
No comment.
Oh, they got some magic on him, alright.
I'm gonna whisper to Fallon. That's a yes.
What?
I whispered to you. That's a yes. Just
So,
kind of give you
did
this
you
kind of like.
did you already get to those people, or to Fiona and Parakeet? What was his name?
Piotr?
Piotric and Halael, or the other one.
He says, frankly, I don't recognize any of those names except for Halael. He was with your group, right?
That's right.
Here, hold up, monk.
We
I have
had
a
the
question.
run-in in Dale's Harbor.
I have a good question for you. So, apparently a wizard may have been smug and potentially found another vestige, but what if you had taken us out, what was your next move? Was there another vestige you were going after?
Whenever we recovered one of the artifacts, we were to take it straight home.
So, did your wizard friend recover an artifact?
Well, if she did, then she handed it off to someone else. Because she was obviously still here. What are you insight checking, Fallon?
Telling the truth?
Just, he's being pretty open, but you're not sure.
So I'm just gonna, just to clarify, I'm still holding that frost brand in my hand.
Yep.
Was this yours?
It says, no, that was Ness's.
It's mine now, and I'm gonna press it to his leg, make him cold.
What's the cold damage on it?
1d6.
Roll a d6.
Would your wizard friend have had anything on them that would confirm or deny whether they had found a vestige, like a receipt to the or something, or for the when they gave it to someone else? Like if they
What?
handed it out, they'd
Oh,
have got kind of.
I doubt it. Okay.
So if you would have,
So, Fallon, as you sort of chill, is like he just sort of makes a hissing sound in pain. He's already kind of beat up from the fight.
He goes unconscious.
So, no, he's not unconscious yet.
I'll give him that potion I just got to keep asking questions.
No.
Not really.
He says, "Look, I imagine your good friends here are going to keep me regardless of what I tell you." So he shrugs. The best I can do is try to convince you that I'm a nice guy. You guys seem to have a pretty good read on people. I doubt I'm going to lie to you profitably. He sort of looks up. Would it help if I told you I spared a little girl?
We know you spared a little girl.
You told us
Okay,
that.
great. I've got
You
all
still
my
did some
character
stuff.
witness out there.
Yeah. One hell of a guy.
Yeah,
Alright,
thanks.
well, I'm gonna sheathe the rapier,
Oh,
pull out the dagger, spin on my like heel, and ask the Darvins, like, do you need this tiefling?
He looks over at him. Suppose not.
Is the tiefling awake?
He looks kind of zonked out.
Alright, let me know when he wakes up. I'm
He
gonna
says-
head out of the room.
Jesus.
Okay. And he shouts after you, "It'll be a few hours, and I thought you might want to be on your way."
Can you wake him up?
Kane,
Got some salts?
this is just a little much, man.
The drow looks over at you, Fallon, and says, "Do you think you have what you need?"
What are you gonna do with old Jerry here?
Same thing we did with the other one, but it seems we're not going to learn too much.
Yeah, but then what?
Then he thinks probably dispose of them.
Maybe you need some good slave labor.
He looks at you. Are you selling? Oh, I see. You're putting in a good word. He thinks for a moment. Might be worth looking into what he said about, well, what he implied about some sort of magical connection or leverage. It'll take some time, but perhaps there are some ways we can use that. He looks over at the other one. The cleric, though, frankly, I'm inclined to think that he's more trouble than he's worth. Divine intervention and all that.
Did he say this? Start saying this before I left, or while I'm
This is
was
after.
walking out? Dang it! All right.
He says, "Yes, I suppose I could see how this one might be useful to keep around." He sort of looks at Gyrian. "Of course, you'd have visitors' rights."
Perfect. You're welcome, Gary.
Gyrian says,
Zeus.
"Much obliged."
I'm sorry, Alcadir, brother.
He remains slumped unconscious.
Yeah, I just say that and walk away.
Alright. So the rest of you sort of join up. I'm just going to put a little RIP on this guy's character sheet, because that's how that's going to go. I actually made a divine intervention roll for the cleric. It failed. Okay, so yeah, you all head over to that to the side room where Colleen and Maxis have been waiting. Donvir and Varys actually follow you. And after you're all gathered, Donvir says, "Well, thanks for coming and hearing us out." And he looks over at you, Fallon, driving a hard bargain. He says, "There's one more thing that, and by the way, I didn't mean for him to be closed with this. It just only occurred to me now that I needed to tell you this. There's one more thing that you all should know. We've also been doing some investigation around the major dwarf families, and, well, putting together what we learned with the words of our cleric friend, I believe this group may have in fact recovered a vestige. Probably returned it to their home country. We believe that, well, and this is guesswork, but we believe that the Chalice of Prosperity was in possession of the, and actually, what's their last name? Dear God. Sorry. We believe that the Chalice of Prosperity was in the possession of the Rotacrone clan, the rulers of Jordan. We believe it played some role in their wealth, and we believe it may have departed them.
Excuse me.
Or at least, that's what I surmise after hearing that there was a potential recovery.
So we kind of screwed ourselves by never going.
He shrugs and says, perhaps it was taken before you got there, perhaps in the invasion, perhaps during the evacuation. I can't be sure, but...
Yeah, there wasn't much of a window to actually go to Jordan. Like, there was demon armies and shit.
But that would be my guess. So, anyways, hopefully I've helped with at least give you a few leads. As I said...
Much obliged, Jarvan. I
Yeah, but
appreciate
if they've
the
already
help.
like snatched that up and taken it away, that's gone.
We'll just have to go take it from the Yashal.
And
Oh,
he
have
nods
to
to
roll.
Kane and says, and thank you for your help earlier.
And that's kind of a nod. I do the old teal nod.
Mm-hmm. And he says, you can leave the way you came. Should be no problem. Is there anything else I can do for you?
I definitely suggest killing the cleric. And as you heard, Jared does have his own magical capabilities, so keep that in mind. If he's
Yes.
sneaky like me with a bit of magic, he
So
could be
okay,
sneaky.
Casey, did you already kind of explain like what their purpose was? The Drow's purpose?
They're helping you for some reason that is not, maybe not 100% clear. One thing that does seem clear is that, like, you know, what?
They know
This
Kane.
is like a secretive group of drow that seems to know Kane somehow. Putting some sort of
Weird.
criminal label on them is probably pretty easy. And he pretty heavily implied that, and like those kind of groups tend to like a certain amount of societal order because they can exploit it to make money and gain influence. And when things are like going haywire and everyone's just killing each other, that's not necessarily good for business. So you can imagine it's at least that. As far as whether it's anything else, you're not quite sure, but they are giving you a lot of help and apparently not asking for a lot in return.
Right. Okay.
I mean, are they trying to steer you in a direction that's deceptive? Are they, like, legit trying to help you? Are they trying to get something out of it? Yeah, I mean, if you want a generic impression along those lines, I guess you can all give me one more insight check. But otherwise, like, you haven't learned enough details to know for sure. Oh,
Let's have
shit.
them down as
You and
Storytelling.
insight checks,
spy
Val.
/ thief.
I'm loving,
Mine's a 15
loving it
Holy
tonight.
shit!
because I can't roll less than a 10 on proficient skills.
All right.
Yay, rogues.
So, Maxis, Kane, they seem to be helping. Maxis, you're guessing there's probably something like a little bit more to it, but you're not quite sure whatever that might be. Fowlin. You put a few more pieces together. This is a group of drow. Drow are not previously known in this country, so presumably they came from underground. You even learn the detail that they sort of were crossing with your group at some point as you were in the city. Now, this was in some kind of alternate timeline that you don't have a memory of. So you can't be sure of the details. So a couple things. First of all, they're a criminal guild. They're not Kane's criminal guild. But they seem to have some interactions. So either their group is working with Kane's group, or they have some kind of leverage over Kane's group. That's one thing you can infer.
Gotcha.
The other thing, though, is just sort of like reading into a little bit, like, sort of, it's hard to pinpoint it, but the delivery of the story about running into you underground. When you left with Liriana, and you left with a handful of other elves that Liriana originally went down with. You remember at the time, they didn't seem quite as, like, what? You also learned that, like, a few of them didn't make it out, actually. And you remember thinking that the ones who did make it out didn't seem quite as, like, cut up about their companions as you thought they should be. They, like, weren't really considering the idea of going back down to try to rescue the other two. At the time, you thought, well, maybe I'm just chalking this up to these people being, like, really duty-bound or something, but that, as you think about it, that, like, kind of doesn't ring true for most forest elves. And so, again, you're not sure if all of those interactions have stayed consistent on whatever this new timeline is. But if they have, then perhaps this group of drow ran across that group of elves somehow. And there's all kinds of possibilities there. Maybe they captured some of those elves. Maybe. Actually, give me an Arcana check.
Okay.
Nice.
Maybe they even pulled some kind of hoodoo, and there's something you're not even quite able to think of going on. But if these drow are out running around on the surface now, it must have started around the time that your group left the underground.
I remember, like, back in the day, there was some point where we ran into some drow, but it's like we just didn't go that direction.
If you remember that, then you must have learned that there was like a fork in the road, basically, that you took.
Yeah.
Oh, I think that's what it was. The Quaggoths were subservient to the drow, and the drow city was, like, in the opposite direction that you went.
Yeah.
So now this guy's claiming there are mind flayers there, so that wouldn't apply. But quite likely the drow city is still in that direction.
Gotcha. Well, okay, that's fine. Alright. So, have we collected Kane and Maxis yet?
Yeah, you're all together now.
Dang it. Okay.
So now the question is just which way are you going next? I guess. Well, let me think about this.
So
I fixed my inventory.
we
I'm
could go-
encumbered.
we could go back to the underground to try to find Mind Flayed Liriana. We
I don't
could
know.
go
I
to
feel we should.
where was Rampart to find Fiona. And I
And
don't
as
remember-
you start to mention that, Donvir says, "Sorry to butt in, but I just heard you beginning to talk about your way forward. If you chose to go to the underground, we would, of course, be happy to point you in the right direction, if that would help. Or at least," he says, and he walks over to a shelf and pulls a piece of parchment off of it. "We could give you a map."
Does he also help us get into the Mind Flayer city?
and control any Quagoth we run across.
My friends and I have some matters to attend to on the surface. But again, information, direction, there's a map of the city here. Should help.
Thanks for the map.
You're
It will
welcome.
help on the
Each-
suicide mission.
You have
Right.
map of underground. It's only the area around the Drow city, but that includes the city that he says is occupied by mind flayers.
Is that really a priority right now?
I mean, she's one of the dragon spirits. So, we'll have to go there eventually. Might as well grab the map now, like, and just to have it, if we ever decide to go. But I think, well, we gotta figure. Do you think who do you think's gonna? Can we lose sooner? The Hale's girlfriend, or the kidnapped people? I'm thinking the kidnapped people,
Who's kidnapped?
but Piotr, Fiona, right?
Yeah, Piotrek and Fiona. Although,
Where did
as
they
I
get
think about it,
kidnapped?
he didn't actually say how long ago it was. For all you know, they're completely off the island at this point.
When were they kidnapped, Darvin?
You have to sort of. He's sort of backed off to let you talk amongst yourselves, but you call him back.
Darvin,
Donvir.
Donvir.
And he says, as nearly as we can tell, about a month ago.
Oh fuck, they gone.
We need to go to the mainland anyway.
True, but that does involve going up against the full brunt of the Ashal, not just the underlings they send.
Let's go get the girl. I mean, maybe this time we can save her before some.
I don't know.
Terrible
I'm
things
all
happen.
for watching her get like almost killed again. That was pretty fun.
All right, so I'm hearing the beginnings of a plan to head back underground.
Kane hates this.
As KC planned all along.
Well, what did Colleen, Maxis? What do you two think?
I loved going underground. I thought that was
I mean,
amazing, except for the fire and the spiders and the demon things.
I didn't like the giant tentacle monster going into my brain, but y'all seem to love that. So
I didn't like having to use all my stash to save us.
It was better than being eaten by a rock tentacle thing.
Isn't that where you got to use that slug that climbed up the wall and fell on people?
Yeah, but
Or somebody did.
prior to that, I was knocked out by a tongue-lashing stalagmite and nearly died.
that was pretty funny.
I mean,
Maxis?
personally, I'd really like to go save my friend, but
Was he
if
kidnapped?
we don't.
Who's your friend?
Patrick, he's the leader of the guild that I belong to.
Ah.
Nobody knows.
Well, we pretty much. It's who do we want to? Who do you?
I
who do you
mean,
think-
if we don't think we can do that right now, then
Wait, Casey, what were the
Right.
other options? I'm sorry. Like,
I mean,
it was a
the
third
other
option,
options
right?
are like literally anything else that you have going. Although, so let me sort of run down the obvious ones. You always have the option that Cyphera seems to be leading somewhere, but that's just a curiosity. You've got no particular compelling reason that you have to see what's there. Let me see. So Fallon has his errand that he has to run for his pit fiend friend, although I don't know how much he's told people about that. Going down your giant fetch quest, there are 3 vestiges remaining. Fallon knows that all 3 of them are currently not in Einangrun. They're outside. You've got 4 dragon spirits remaining. One of them is Liriana, who you just learned where she is. One of them is Halale, who is off in the Feywild somewhere. And 2 of them, well, I don't know how much you might have put together, but you don't know where the other 2 are, like, located. Besides that, it's like literally.
We have all the
whatever other
creation
direction
zone
you would wanna
things,
go.
right?
You do.
Yes, we do.
Okay.
4
So
out
the
of 7.
vestiges.
So the
it
last
seems-
one's the axe that we could get potentially before it's taken away.
That
Correct.
does involve going to the mainland.
Not the axe.
Yeah, it does.
Oh, right.
something
Is that the
we
one that's like
do
lost in
still
that
have it.
forest or something?
So the axe, you know to be, because of your bargain, although I don't know if you've told the others where it is, you know it to be roughly here, bottom right. I'm pinging.
So I would have a lot of fun with this axe.
And it is in the mountains.
Isn't
Near
this where
Goliath.
I need to go down here?
The place, yes, that's correct.
This is where the axe is.
Even have a reliable way to get over there, though.
And we will have no resources once we're over there because we'll be complete strangers. And
Well,
the
okay, why don't we just get Liriana for now, since we need to do that anyway, and then
Yeah,
we can
but that's
follow
a
the
city of
mirror
Mindflake.
to get out of the place to get everything
can
else.
Yeah, we're gonna have to start making plans to go to the mainland. Like that's gonna require help. I don't know if that's just gonna be.
Yeah,
Yeah, I guess when you think of this as a quest, I don't want to like leave, go to the mainland, get all this stuff, and then come back to go fight some Quagos underground.
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying. I'm
It's the
saying
order of
we could-
operations. I want like getting out of the island should be the next big step.
No, we could. I think we should definitely. I think what we need to do is maybe try and finish up the dragon spirits. Then we go find Halil in the Feywild because that seems the least suicidal.
What are you talking
Is-
about?
What do
We
you?
could go into the Feywild and literally not come back for 20 years.
Kane doesn't know this.
I
I'm
don't even
telling
know
you
what that is.
now.
I
Also-
know. I know that. I know that. I'm talking.
If we
Hey,
if we
discuss it,
time leap,
man.
Liriana might be
I'm
fine.
staying in character, guy. Come on. I'm playing.
Yeah, same.
I don't even know where what the Feywild is or where it is.
It's where
How to
Halil
get there.
is.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
I'm sure
fine.
someone does.
To me, you're telling me to go to Never Never Land.
I'm sure
That's
Khalil
basically
can
it.
figure something out.
Second star to the right, straight on till morning. But
Maybe we should look into these
We
last
just got
few
a map.
dragon stones. That way, when we go to get the messages, we already have everything else.
What dragon souls don't we got?
Halale's, Liriana's, and then there's 2 more that we have
do
the
we know?
pieces to figure it out, but haven't figured it out apparently.
Clearly,
know
those 2 other
all
people.
of the things.
The
You
which
also
thing?
just follow the mirror.
Oh, here is what I'm trying to ask. Sorry.
Oh no, we don't. That's what I was saying. Maybe try and locate the other 2, get the one from Halale, then the one from Liriana, and that way we can make the trip to the mainland a single trip.
I don't think we really have a process for extracting dragon souls. That's kind of why we left them in the people.
No,
I
we
thought
do.
we got them out.
We did that last time.
We took out dragon
It's just
souls.
in the
Barely did
recap.
that last time.
Come on, KC,
We
back me up.
also may
Sorry,
have
I started
damaged-
thinking about something else while you guys were all debating. So I sort of tuned out for
We
just a hot minute
extracted
there.
dragon souls, right?
Yeah, we
extracted one
extracted a dragon soul.
Okay.
Colleen watched us do it.
Something to the princess.
Technically a dragon spirit.
I mean, she just got a little sleepy. It was fine.
Okay. So
Bill Cosby.
I think I know the general direction that you guys are going. So I'm gonna sort of narrate just a little bit.
I don't. We
Um,
don't. I don't. I don't know what direction we're going.
Sounds like you're going back underground. Is that not what you're doing?
Yeah,
Oh.
think
I
that's
mean,
what
we have underground, Feywild, and investigate to figure out where the other two are.
it is.
Since you apparently have the pieces, Casey, you said, but we just haven't put them together yet.
Follow the mirror.
Say, well, we have the mirror, and wasn't there something?
What does
that
the mirror
ring
do?
could
It
help?
leads us
Like,
to something.
Well, the ring is how you absorb the soul or spirits.
I know, but it doesn't it like if I'm in proximity of a dragon soul or something like that. I thought it heated up or something. Maybe I'm-
Well, there's a spirit inside who can pick up on shit. So
There you go.
But that does require proximity, which means
it
you need
does.
a general location.
Yeah, it's not like a massive compass. Although,
You have that.
Wait, what?
And you do know someone. So.
Max's compass.
I don't know. More guy.
I have a soul-seeking compass.
Oh yeah, I
Dragon
remember
soul.
because that's why Kane thinks his sheath is just always warm.
Yeah. 'Cause
When
he
it's only
always
supposed to
knows
be
where you
warmed
are.
up.
So, like,
Well, I-
theoretically, if you wanted to use that to look for your friend, you could.
Somebody else would have to take it because I don't know. I don't think I've ever met him. The only one I met was Joe Han.
No. Oh, I thought you were talking
No,
about... I thought you were
Piotr.
talking about
Piotr.
Piotr. You know him.
Oh yes.
So you
We
could
could-
train
I
it on
could
him
try.
if you wanted.
Like we said, I think we want to make the mainland a last visit, so that we can just get everything finished, wrap it up.
You say wrap it
Right
up
now-
like something unexpected won't happen.
I mean, this plan, whatever plan we make
Limb
now
Blue
is
2.
going to hit the fan in like 2 sessions. It's going to be completely obliterated, and we're going to be like,
We can at least go get the dragon soul out of the person that's trapped by mind flares right now.
Yay, let's do it. Break.
All right, so you guys decide on this path forward. You thank your gracious hosts who give you the sincerest nods and smiles and the best well wishes that you've ever received. Not being sarcastic at all, but it's like, I mean, information was granted, and information was received. You leave the tunnel that you were in and start to make your way back through the city, sort of trying to get your bearings and starting to talk through the practicalities of how you're going to go on from here. When you see a familiar face. So this is the same bronze dragonborn who helped you get a boat earlier when you're going to pick up the third creation stone. He waves down your group and says, "Oh, Kane, the rest of you, I've been looking for you." And as he runs over to your group, you see that he's accompanied by a halfling. And that's where we're going to end for tonight.
wait, can I just have one whisper conversation with the Dragonborn?
Nope, we'll do that next time. Bye!
But